Hello YouTube, 87 Ricer here. So it's like 34 degrees outside. I'm gonna be riding around till the kids get off school, and then I gotta rocket myself up the hill at 20 mile an hour, 15 actually, probably 15 mile an hour up a hill back home to get into the car and then go pick up the kiddos from school and then start heading out to my favorite restaurant, Wings A-Blazin'. That's right, I like Wings A-Blazin'. I like eating at Wings A-Blazin'. That's like my favorite go-to restaurant in town. Now, if you want a good pizza in Hermann, you go to 4th Street Pizza, which is a very good pizza restaurant directly across, well, actually kind of diagonal, but across the street from Wings A-Blazin'. Now, if you have been through Hermann and you're looking for Wings A-Blazin', Wings A-Blazin', on the front window of their business, it actually says Turbulence Brewery. That's right, Turbulence Brewery. That is Wings A-Blazin'. So if you're coming to Hermann and you're looking to go to Wings A-Blazin' but you can't find it, it's Turbulence Brewery. So when you see that name on the window, that's Wings A-Blazin'. They're making their own beer at Wings A-Blazin', which is awesome because, well, I mean, for them to craft their own beer and make it in the same building is just cool. I mean, there for a long time they didn't do that, and now they are, so that's why it's called Turbulence Brewery, because everything in Wings A-Blazin' is airplane related. It is airplane, jet planes, anything that flies in the air. That's what the theme of the restaurant is about. Back in 2020 or 2021, back when the world went to shit because of that COVID, they had to change some stuff around, and they actually took away, they stopped doing where the waiters and waitresses would take your order while you're at the table. They took that away, and it became self-order, where you go up to the cash register and you tell them what you want to order, and then they would make it and you'd pay for it at the cash register, or you would bring up an app or something that you scan and it would give you the menu. Well, they still have that, but they're also doing the waitress, where you go in, you sit down, the waiters and the waitresses will take your order again. That is cool, because that's how it was for a long time, and it only went away for a short time. I thought it was going to be away permanently, but now it's actually back to having, you know, waitresses and waiters coming up to you and taking your order and, you know, bringing you your food and stuff like that. But yeah, so when you're in Hermann, Wings A-Blazin', the building on the windows will say Turbulence Brewery. So when you see that, you're at the correct place. And when you want a hell of a pizza, 4th Street Pizza. That is the place to go to get your pizza craving fulfilled. Another place that I like to go to is it's called the Deli Shop, which is our ice cream shop. They do like sandwiches and hamburgers, fries, ice cream, of course. So that's our local deli. That's down on 1st Street. So when you're coming in to Hermann, crossing over the bridge, you take a left-hand turn and you go down the 1st Street. Now, the street that I'm on right now, they call it Main Street, which, you know, or I don't even know what they call it, Main Street. It's 1st Street, it's Main Street, I don't really care. This is the main road that everybody drives on when they come through town. But when you come into town from the bridge, coming from New Florence, you take a left and it takes you down 1st Street, or I call it the Old Main Street. That's right, I call it the Old Main Street. So anywho, we're gonna go down what I call the Old Main Street. We're gonna take a right here from the bridge, but from the bridge it would be a left. That building with the gold dome, that is the courthouse. There is a courtroom on the 2nd level of that building. There's a courtroom on the 2nd level of that building. An old courtroom, old school style. So this is the Old Main Street, or 1st Street, whatever you want to call it. Main Street, 1st Street. It's still right down by the riverfront. So anyways, hey, Doxy Slush is open. So Doxy Slush is an alcoholic beverage slushy facility. It's a restaurant. They also have food. That's what I was trying to say. They have food, but they have different flavors of alcoholic slushies. So must be 21 to drink. But they're very good. They're very good. Now, the Hermann Wursthaus. The Hermann Wursthaus, they have lots of bratwursts, steaks, a variety of food inside there. So, steaks, brats, sausages, and just all around delicious. The riverfront. No, when I ride, I always come down to the riverfront. The White House Hotel. Now, I hear that this place is haunted. I can't be for sure. I've never seen a ghost in there, and I've never been in there to find out if it's actually haunted. But I hear it's haunted just because of the stories that people tell. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The Hermann Riverfront. Man, okay, so it's like 35 degrees right now. It's supposed to be a high of 40 degrees today. So it's a little chilly outside. But yeah, I have a tendency to ride down to the riverfront every time I come down to the riverfront, or every time I come into town. It's just a habit. It's like our main go-to for when you want something to do, or just cruise on down here in your hot rod or your motorcycle. Come down here, relax down by the riverfront. Yeah. So the water did come up. The water came up since the last time I was down here. It's fluctuating in water levels. Probably from Lake of the Ozarks. See, a few miles up the river a ways, I can't remember what the river is called. It's the river that's coming from the dam at Lake of the Ozarks. So when the water's released to go downstream, that river meets up with the Missouri River, and I think the town that river actually connects to is Tibet. I think Tibet is the town where the river from Lake of the Ozarks meets the Missouri River. That's where, like, if you Google map it, I'm almost positive if you follow the river going from Lake of the Ozarks to the point where it meets up with the Missouri River, and then you scroll like as if you were going north from that point. I believe Tibet is exactly where that river meets up with the Missouri River. And I don't know if you all consider it is a huge cloud. Well, by accident. Actually, like, so at the very tip of my finger, right there, you see that cloud in the background? That is actually the nuclear power plant in that's actually the Callaway nuclear plant. Now, I have ridden out there before. It's not hard to get to. You can see that from I-70 in going west to east. It's a very see, you can see it. So anyways, that's what that white cloud is. It's the steam or whatever coming from that plant, the Callaway nuclear plant. It's a little bit of a drive. So I want to give a shout out to another business. It's actually they're actually located out in Fulton. Actually, yeah, they're located out in Fulton. So the business is just like Doxy Slush, but the business that I'm gonna mention actually was made before Doxy Slush. So if you're out in Fulton, you want to go to a business called The Station. That's right, The Station. Me and a buddy of mine, we rode out to The Station out in Fulton, Missouri, and that lady, she does alcoholic slushies just like Doxy Slush, but she was first. Doxy Slush was just a little while after her. So when you go out to Fulton, Missouri, go out to The Station and tell her or them that you found out about The Station because of a video by 87 Ricer. And I'm positive, you know, that would, you know, put a smile on their face to know that I mentioned them. And like I said, they're kind of like Doxy Slush. Actually, they're just like Doxy Slush. Same style of alcoholic serving, slushy style, different flavors. but she was before Doxy Slush. So that's just a cool little information there. So I have an idea. I'm actually going to be studying to get my my chauffeur license, because I actually want to drive these trolleys. I want to start driving these trolleys, at least attempt. But I do have to get my chauffeur license. Right now I have my Class A CDL, and I want to get my chauffeur license so that way during Oktoberfest, when I have the time, I could actually drive for them and make some side money, because I think that would be cool to give all the tourists that come to Hermann a ride on the trolley. And of course, the reason being I want to try it is because it's not a tractor trailer with the 53-foot trailer behind it, and I'm not having to back the ass up of the. I don't have to back the trailer into a dock door. So I think shuttling around a bunch of tourists would be cool. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because there's some stuff that's happening behind the scenes that I got going on, and I may not have to drive much longer as a truck driver. I might not have to. Here, basically, since I've been driving, after my first full year, I've stayed with the company that I drive for by choice, and they haven't, it hasn't been forcefully. It's been by choice. So I actually want to take my chance and try to get a local driving. I want to get a local driving career. I want to be able to drive for truck companies that are in my hometown, if I have the option to do that. There are truck companies that I have looked into that are in my hometown, like that dump truck that just went by, Tri-County Trucking. If I stopped driving a tractor trailer, I could actually go and do Tri-County Trucking dump trucks. Hey, look at that cat. See that cat? Oh, he ran. He ran. He didn't know. So anyways, there's some truck companies I want to try, but mostly because I'm ready to just kind of take a break from driving a tractor trailer. I mean, it makes good money, and I've gotten to see the a good chunk of the U.S., but I'm kind of wanting to slow down and be home more often, because I don't have the kind of bills that I had before. So needing to be a truck driver and making those bills is not really needed as much anymore, because I won't have a whole lot of bills that would require me to drive a truck to pay. So I'm kind of winding down on my truck driving. I've been doing it for almost 3 years. I want to say that August, September, about September is my 3-year mark. And yeah, I definitely plan to stay at least that long. You see, I actually have this idea to go to, there's a group that I ride with that we go to Lake Ozark Bike Fest every year. And this year they're talking about doing, maybe riding to, or going to Sturgis. And I don't know if I'm going to stop driving after Sturgis, or if I'm going to stop driving after Bike Fest. But whatever it comes down to, I know one thing's for sure is I don't want to be driving a truck by the upcoming winter. I want to be done with that, because as much as I like driving, it scares the ever-living piss out of me when it comes to things like your weigh stations and DOT, law enforcement. Those things scare the ever-living shit out of me. And well, then on top of that, I'm driving around a truck, which, if something goes horribly wrong, I can put a lot of people's lives at risk. Because one, that truck is either going to become a sled, or it's going to be, you know, it's either going to work in my advantage or it's not. But all I know is I don't really want to be driving around by this upcoming winter, so I'm kind of winding down in that section of, I'm kind of winding down in that part of my life. It's not that I hate driving, I just want to be, home like I used to be at a regular job, because I don't have anywhere near the bills that I had when I first started. I was able to pay for a lot of things that I wasn't able to pay for before, and I was able to do a lot of stuff with the kind of money I was raking in doing truck driving. And so now I just want to wind down and do some local driving, like FedEx or UPS, or maybe a local in-town company that would be willing to take me on, which is why I have considered getting my chauffeur license and doing trolley, because the trolley is it's not an every weekend kind of deal. It's by choice. You can choose to work. You can choose when you want to drive for the trolley company. That's the deal, and that's what's got me sold on that idea. Is I can choose when I want to drive for the trolley company, and they make good money driving tourists around my hometown. So this is Sally Mountain Shoe Repair. They do leather shoes, boots, purses, everything leather. They just put in new windows too, and like redesigned the inside. So new window fixtures. But if you want boots, purses, handbags, even saddles, they do leather. Sally Mountain Shoe Repair on 4th Street in Hermann, Missouri. And then I'm going to show you all Turbulence Brewery, because you all know that Turbulence Brewery. That's wings a-blazing for you. 4th Street Pizza. 4th Street Pizza right there. They do really good pizza. 1837 bar. There's a bar inside of that building underground, and they're really cool. Really, really cool. It's a nice place to go and have a drink or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, and then a Bloody Mary. So there's a lot of activities that start up right about, you know, April, May, when the weather starts getting very nice. This town becomes very active, and I like seeing the activity in this town. It's very, very cool to see. This is what I do. I just ride around, same streets over and over and over again. Sometimes it gets boring, yes. Sometimes it doesn't. At the end of it, you know, the whole thing is I'm just riding around. I'm just doing me. The reason why I stay local when I'm riding around is because I don't really ride around with anybody else until Bike Fest. Until Bike Fest, it's just me riding around. Everybody else just doesn't seem to ride around as much. So I don't really ride around with a whole lot of other people before Bike Fest. So it's just me, and I don't really feel like riding out of town a whole lot, especially when I get done from being over the road for a full week. I just want to stay local and spend my money local. So this is the deli shop. It's also on this road, right up from the bridge, or right down from the bridge. Sandwiches, ice cream, hamburgers. I can tell you what, the hamburgers are delicious. Sandwiches are great, but the Hermann Deli, very good ice cream and burgers. I tell you what, if you want a nice price, if you want a good burger for the price, double bacon cheeseburger, awesome burger with some chips. This is Stomping Grounds. They do breakfast, your coffees, lattes, brunch, coffee bar. This is located right down from Espresso Lane, and there's nothing wrong. There's actually nothing wrong with Stomping Grounds, but Espresso Lane has been here a lot longer, and so I just prefer to go to Espresso Lane. The 10 Mill, they actually have a restaurant inside of there, and they do, I would have to say that the 10 Mill facility that has the restaurant, I've been here, their food is a little on the pricey side, even just for, you know, even just for a regular meal. I think they're a little pricey. But that's my opinion. It doesn't mean that they have bad food. I just think the price is a little high, and I just don't go a whole lot because of it. But I'm not saying that they're a bad restaurant. I just don't go enough because I just don't like the prices that they have. Doesn't mean they're not good. You ought to give them a try if it's something that you're willing to give a try. Just beware, the prices are a little high. But to each restaurant their own. They may think that other restaurants in the area have higher prices than they do. It just depends. Whatever tickles your fancy. The good thing is there's options. Options. There's also another little restaurant that opened up. I'm gonna take you to it right now. Everybody's been talking about it, and I haven't gone in there yet. But the restaurant is the restaurant is right here. The name of the restaurant. Honestly, I didn't say much of anything because there's a few times where even though I'm recording and I'm just doing my thing, when people get close to me, I get a little nervous and I stop talking because I don't want them to. I know that they realize what I'm doing, but I just don't feel like doing it while they're around me. So I actually used to live in the top apartment up there, right there. Yeah, that top door. In fact, I got drunk one time so bad walking up these steps that I got to about that section, right about where that window is, where my finger's at. I got right about there, and it had been raining. And luckily, my brother-in-law was behind me, like directly behind me, and I was so drunk that my foot slipped and I damn near fell back. And he was right behind me to catch me. But yeah, we lived up there in the top apartment for a little while, and we used to climb on top of the roof. We used to climb on top of the roof to get up on the roof, and we used to drink up there. We used to drink. We would have to climb over that rail, kind of step onto that gutter, and at the top there was a little loop ring, a little hook ring, and we used a ratchet strap, and we put that ratchet strap in that hole like this that was screwed into the roof. We put the ratchet strap through that hole, and we climbed up using the ratchet strap and got up on top of the roof, and we used to drink beer on top of the roof. And it used to be 5 apartments. Those 2 windows was 1 apartment. These 2 windows was 1 apartment. Those 2 windows was 1 apartment. Those 2 windows was 1 apartment, and everything up on top was 1 big apartment. Now it's a bed and breakfast. I used to park my car right over here or over here. That's what I used to do when we lived here. But I don't know what they called this restaurant. I don't know what they called this bed and breakfast anymore. Like, I don't know the name of it yet. But that's where I used to live for a short period of time, right across the street from Wings A-Blazin'. And when Wings A-Blazin' would do this, they used to do 25-cent chicken lip specials on Wednesday. And I used to get like 80 of the chicken lips on 25-cent chicken lip days. And I would get 80 of those suckers, sometimes 100 of them, and I would take them up to the top, and I would share it with my family, and we would have that would be our dinner for the night. We'd do chicken lips, which is basically boneless chicken. Harbor House Inn and Suites. I haven't been in there, but I haven't been in there, but I think they're pretty cool. Wow, this video is getting pretty long, a 35-minute video. If you all have stayed with me this long, thank you. If you haven't, hopefully you're just listening. Like I said, a lot of these writing videos, I don't expect you to watch the whole video. I'm more or less writing and talking to you. So it's more of a talking video. You just listen to me jibber jabber because I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you while riding the scooter. So I'm not expecting you to watch the whole video, but if you at least listen, I think I could get pretty entertaining. That's the concert hall. They have very, very good food there too. The bar is awesome. During Oktoberfest, they would usually have like a DJ on the second level, and there was a bar upstairs. And so we'd go upstairs, hang out while the DJ's playing, and yeah, it would get pretty packed and pretty action-packed. So like I said, 10 mil, kind of on the pricey side, but the food, I hear it's good. I've been there a couple of times. I haven't had a problem with the food, just the prices. But that's one person's opinion over many of people who have come to visit the 10 mil. So anyways, I'm going to end my video right here. I've chatted your ears off long enough. I've rode around talking with you all. I hope you all enjoy my video. If you do, give it the like button. Hit that like button. If you want to subscribe to my channel, hit that subscribe. And if you want to be notified about every crazy ass video I post, hit that bell notification, and it should notify you about every crazy ass video that I post. I'm 87 Ricer, out. Peace.